Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here. Today we're going to be going over the basics of Dungeonland. This is a multiplayer action RPG where players make their way through theme park style dungeons as one of three adventurers. Now the thing that sets Dungeonland apart from other action RPGs is that besides playing as a rogue, a mage, or a warrior, there's also a mode where you can play as the dungeon maestro, basically the dungeon master trying to stop the heroes from making it through the dungeon. Now we've got a special little boss here that we're going to take out. This is actually quite a difficult start. It's going to require my full attention before we get into explaining much else. Let me heal my buddies up there like that. And we're going to try to take out these skeletons. Skeletal archers doing some massive damage, so get rid of those guys. Working in conjunction with my teammates here. I'm playing as the mage. My allies are the warrior and the rogue. There are only 3 character classes or archetypes in this game, so there's really not much choice besides those 3. But yeah, it's it covers the basics, right? And you're going to notice I am playing with bots. Now the game's currently in closed beta. It goes live next week. At the moment, there's just not a lot of people that have access to it, so I'm just going to be playing by myself. But I prefer to do that anyways for basic introduction videos, just to give you guys the lay of the land instead of playing with other people and having to focus on talking to them and stuff like that. So yeah, playing with bots is just fine. And in adventure mode, which is the mode that we're in now, it works quite well as well. It's really, the one problem with this is that they don't use their special potion items, which we'll actually go into that now. Why don't we? So first, let's talk about the user interface. Upper left-hand corner shows the health of all members of the party. There's myself, Force the Mage, and then we've got 2 bots for the Rogue and the Warrior. Upper right shows your remaining lives. Basically what happens is whenever a hero dies, or he goes down but not out, you can revive him. You've got a total of 10 seconds to get to him and revive him. If you don't do that, you lose a life. When you've got no lives left and a hero dies, that's it. Game over, and the Dungeon Maestro wins. And then besides that, in the lower right-hand corner, it shows your total current currency that you've acquired through the dungeon, and that's used at the end of each round to purchase new weapons, to get new skills, and to get armor upgrades as well. So collecting as much currency as possible obviously is going to be a good thing. Okay, now that we've covered the user interface, let's go ahead and actually talk about the gameplay. There's a few things to keep in mind. This is a pretty simplistic action RPG. It's not crazy in depth in terms of what you can do, but there's a little bit of things that you can do. Left mouse button is going to be a basic attack for me. It's this little ranged attack here with my wand. Right mouse button is going to be a special class ability. So my special class ability is the ability to make my teammates invulnerable. Now, during this channel period, whoever I'm targeting is invulnerable. They're not going to take any damage. Really, really strong ability. And then besides that, you also have a Q ability, which is a weapon ability that's on a little cooldown. You're going to notice that cooldown bar right there under my health bar. And that's my little flame wave. Now each one of these, and you can specialize and customize what you want for your weapon ability, depending on sort of what you've unlocked with the currency. We're gonna take a look at that whole system once we're out of this round here. But yeah, that is my weapon ability, and we're gonna go up here, go to the flame wave, those guys. Moving around with WASD, pretty standard. It's also suggested actually that you use a controller. Now I've played entirely. I played this game for about 4 hours now. I have played entirely with mouse and keyboard, and I've had no problem. So it works quite fine with mouse and keyboard. If that's your preferred playstyle, you can certainly do that. Okay, so we're gonna have these guys move on in. Obviously, oh boy, taking damage there. Tank going first is going to be ideal. Now the visual is very cartoony, and that is of course on purpose. Again, this is a theme park style dungeon. There are 3 primary dungeons in this game, plus an infinite dungeon and the Dungeon Maestro area. So there's basically 5 separate gameplay areas of this game. Are we able to go through now? There we go. So we're able to move on through. We're taking a look at the second of 3rd in the adventure mode here. And I think it tells me when I do this. Yes, so this is the Dungeon Maestro Tower, which is the second of the 3 adventure mode levels available. Each one of these levels are segmented into 3 stages. There's stage 1, stage 2, and then a boss fight. So we're in stage 1, and I think in this video we might be able to go all the way through. I'm not sure if it's going to be entirely necessary, but it might just take a bit of time. We'll see. We'll see how this goes along here. So far it's been going pretty well. We are playing on the hard difficulty at the moment. There's all sorts of difficulties. There's like an impossible difficulty, so it definitely gets much harder than what you're seeing here if you're thinking it's easy. But it's, you know, you definitely have to be careful even on the lowest difficulties. It can definitely get really tough. Now, in terms of healing, there are specialty healing sheep that you can kill, and they're going to drop these healing buffs. Besides that, there's no like passive health regen or anything like that. And then these checkpoints, whenever you walk across those, you also get a full heal as well. So these sheep, if I kill him, they a lot of times will drop a little health buff. That one in particular didn't that time. Let's see if this guy does it here when I get him. There you go, so you can see he dropped that little burger, which is going to heal you up if you've taken any damage. Alright, so we got a lot of guys down here, oh boy. Going a little bit too close. Just make sure we pull back there. There we go. Now, besides these, so we've talked about the basic attack. So there's the left mouse button attack, the right mouse button specialty use per different class, and then there's the weapon attack as well, which is my flame wave with Q that's on cooldown. Besides that, there are these potion spells where every time you use them, you use up a potion. These potions are these blue things above the health bar here, very difficult to find, so you have to be very careful about when you use them. My particular potion is an AoE heal, so you're going to see that come into play. That is activated with E. So again, WASD to move, Q for that weapon attack, E is for your potion ability. But since potions are tough to find, and if I use it when I don't need it, that could be problematic later on, I'm going to hold off on it for now. Okay, so we're coming up here. Looks like we're locked in, and now we've got this special event, so we're going to deal with waves of enemies. And those are explosive sheep, so we're going to be careful about those guys. So all different sorts of enemy types, you know, there's skeletal archers, there's big brutes, these big purple dudes are spawners. They'll continuously spawn guys unless you kill them, so killing them is sort of a priority. Explosive sheep, be careful. I hope these guys don't pop them. Yep, that's right there. They just popped an explosive sheep, and there's a AoE healing sheep, so I'm gonna stand in this here. So notice he's healing me up there. There's an explosive sheep, and the guy, of course, walked right into it. That's great. Oh, we got tons of sheep down here. This is fantastic. Wow, all right, awesome. So we got a spawner. Gonna get rid of these trolls and then try to take out the spawner. I'm gonna stay back. One of my bots just took massive damage, and now he's dead. But that's a good time to show you the res. So you can walk up to him and you hit F, and that's gonna res him up. Now the bot is resing him for us, so I don't have to worry about that there. And we're just gonna try to make our way through this wave. I hope we can do it. I don't know. This could be a little hairy. You know, you would assume, and it is definitely the case, it's much more difficult when you're playing with bots as it would be if you were playing with real people, where you can communicate and strategize and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make that guy invulnerable because there was a explosive sheep going down, so I wanted to make sure that he didn't take the brunt of that damage. And we gotta get rid of these spawners as well. It's gonna be pretty crucial. Come on. Fairly lengthy cooldown on the weapon ability. Mine is particularly strong. In fact, all of the classes ones are particularly strong. So it makes sense that it's got a long cooldown. And the final wave here, the final countdown. Oh, I'm stuck. I am stuck. There's also an evade with spacebar. You can do that, and you do this little jump thingy, which will help you evade incoming attacks. And there's no particular reason I haven't been using it, just badness. But yeah, it is obviously, as you would imagine, quite useful. And I just knocked that guy down with explosions. But we got some heals over here, so let's pick that up, heal those guys up. As far as I can tell, when you pick up the healing buffs, like the burgers and stuff that the sheep drop, it heals group members who are near you. They might, I don't even know if they need to be near you, but it does heal group members as well, so pretty awesome. And it looks like we're fine here. We're gonna make it through this without too much of an issue, which is good. Particularly because we only have one life to start, so if we lose a guy, that's a major problem. And all of this is persistent throughout each round. So again, there are multiple stages to each portion of the game. We're in the Dungeon Maestro Tower level. There's the 3 stages, 2 stages plus the boss fight, and all this stuff is persistent, the mana potions and your remaining life. So it's a problem if you lose this stuff in the first stage, or if you use up all your potions in the first stage. You're going to be in a lot of trouble, especially come the boss fight. Really, ideally, I'd like to save all of my potions for the boss fight if it's even possible. You can pick up certain objects in the game and throw them. You pick them up with F, things like these barrels, and I can just do that. I don't know, that's particularly useful. I don't really think it's any better than my, I haven't found any in-world items that I could throw that were any better than the weapon that I have, but it is something you can do. But again, the action RPG portion of this game is pretty simplistic. There's not a ton that each of these characters can do. And there is the whole customization that we'll be taking a look at when it comes to purchasing additional spells. And there's different types, like I'm a fire mage, there's also an ice mage and an electric mage that you can be. So although the combat itself as the action RPG, with the action RPG part of this game, although the combat itself is pretty basic, there's a lot of variety, a lot of options. And the real shining part of this title is the Dungeon Maestro mode, because that's what really sets it apart. But not everyone is going to play that all the time, you know? Because there's only one Dungeon Master and then Adventurer. So most people, most of the time when playing this game, will be playing as Adventurers. And because it's a bulk of what the play experience will be, that's why I wanted to show it to you first. Okay, so there we go. Heroes win. We made it through the first stage there. Now the goal from this point would be to continue to stage 2 and then the eventual boss fight. Now we can go back to the lobby, and I'd actually like to do that first here. Now in the lobby, the reason we're here is because I'd like to show you some of the different choices you have. So again, here I am as the mage, and let me show you. There's different mage types. There's an ice mage and also an electric mage. I can unlock him with currency. I don't have enough at the moment because I've recently spent some and I didn't get too much in that last round that we just did. I play primarily as the fire mage, so when I select him, we would hit confirm. And then from this point, more customization. So there's weapons. You can select different weapons type, different weapon types. There's the basic weapon right here, and then there is also the Staff of Fire, and then the Staff of Barbecue is a better weapon, so that's the one that we're going to select. And there's armor. Now you're not seeing a lot there just because I haven't unlocked a ton, but there is armor and hat slots. There's also potion slots. Now this is the potion ability. So the potion ability that I have, like I said, is the healing. Heals and makes surrounding heroes invulnerable. I also have access to, this is a little buggy. It is closed beta though. I also have access to this potion. Oh good lord, this is really kind of annoying. Arcane Link, create a link between heroes that stuns and damages. Now that's cool, but I prefer the AoE healing, so we're going to stick with that. There are weapon modifications or perks. I've got one for extra damage, that's the one we have there. And then I also have an armor modification for faster movement, so that's the one we pick there. Now let's quickly hop into the item shop just so I can show you some of what's available here. I'm going to filter it per the class. So here's the mage class. So I can purchase Viking armor, monk armor, fire starter armor, and space mage armor. And you can double click on it to get a little bit of more information. It doesn't tell me that, I don't see any buffs from this. It's not saying that it makes your character any better. So, I mean, as far as I can tell just by looking at this, it's only a visual difference. I would have to imagine, though, that your character gets stronger with this. I don't know if they're going to put stats in the future or if it is just a visual improvement. But there are different options for armor, for weapons. I currently have this one, the Staff of Barbecue, a couple of other staffs option. And then again, there are hats, there are the potion abilities. I've got the healing one. I also purchased the Arcane Link, and there's a few other different sort of options here. What's this one? Defibrillator? That's neat. Heal and revive down heroes instantly. That's cool. Not going to get that though. And then there's also the perks. There are the weapon perks and armor perks. So I've got the extra damage weapon perk, and the armor perk that I have is faster movement. There's also stuff like extra damage against enemies under 30% health, thrown objects deal massive damage, chance to push enemies on hit with your weapons, carry an extra potion with you, extra armor, and there's actually 3 tabs of this here. So all sorts of different increased critical hit chance. So you can see there's definitely some customization you can have with these characters. And then there will be bundles, and I don't know what passports are, but I'm assuming bundles are like package deals for purchasing stuff that'll cost less currency than it would otherwise. So that is the shop. You can get those things to get the weapons and the armor and the hats. Let me quickly show you though. I like to. Yeah, well, I guess we'll take a look at this stuff. We'll take a look at the rogue and the warrior at some other time. Maybe I'll do that in a future video. Okay, so we're gonna ready up here. And now I do believe, yes, we are in stage 2 at the moment, so we're gonna continue along here.
This is to ensure your
with some more gameplay in this mode. And then once we finish all of this, we're going to hop in and do a Dungeon Maestro thing. Now, again, because we're in closed beta and not a lot of people have access to the game, and holy heck, this is a lot of things. Because we're in closed beta, not a lot of people have access to the game. We're gonna have to do Dungeon Maestro mode against bots. Now that's not the greatest because the bots aren't that good, and it's really easy, especially with like a certain setup of items. It's really easy to sort of just beast them. So, oh lord, taking a lot of damage here. I think I'm gonna die against this. This is a specialty like ninja rat thing. Looks like we do kill him here, but I definitely took some damage. So yeah, I'll show you the Dungeon Maestro. Oh lord, what the heck? I'll show you the Dungeon Maestro mode after we finish our way through this. But it's not gonna. That thing is definitely gonna be a lot of fun, like playing against your friends. But playing against bots, it's not really super entertaining, I would say. Just because they've been pretty easy from what I can tell. They're not that smart, and they don't use their specialty potion abilities either. So, but again, maybe that's something that will change. This is still once more closed beta, so this isn't the final product. I don't know if they're gonna address those issues before launch. I mean, if people are saying that that sort of thing is too easy, I'm sure that that's something they'd want to address. Yeah. I would just imagine, you know, why not? There's no reason they couldn't make the AI, the bots, more challenging and something like that. Okay, so we got those guys pushing through here. Do a fire wave. Oh yeah. I'm sure for some people the aesthetic of this game is going to take a little bit of getting used to, because it is, you know, very, very, very cartoony. It's purposeful. It's, you know, by design the way this game looks, because it is the whole theme park twist to it. But I don't know, it's not bad. It sort of reminds me of like a Disney movie. It sort of reminds me of Shrek. I don't know what it is, but the aesthetic sort of reminds me of that world, that universe, sort of the playful kingdom sort of thing, you know. And it's definitely going to be good fun with people. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, those archers just wrecked my face. And I think, oh lord, he's not gonna get me up, is he? That means we just lost. Man, that large group of archers, that is terrifying. They need to res me or else we lose. That is it. That is it. We lost. Losers. Alright, it's good. I don't think you guys needed to see a whole nother round of adventure mode anyways, so to be honest, this is actually perfect. We're going to leave out of this, we're going to check out Dungeon Maestro mode, and then we'll wrap up this basics look here. Okay, so go to play local. So we were looking at Dungeon Maestro Tower. We played through the first of 3 stages, if you will. Besides Dungeon Maestro Tower, there's also Cannibal Kingdom and Arcane Kingdom. The difference is it's a different looking location, and the enemy types are different as well. Now there's also an infinite dungeon, which is currently locked. I'm assuming that is unlocked once you finish your way through the game. But then Dungeon Maestro mode, where you play as the Dungeon Master, here's what we'll look at, and this is probably what most of you will like most about this game. So you start off here before you begin the game by selecting spells. There's all sorts of different types. There's structural spells, combat, tricks, traps, and support. Now I've got some stuff unlocked. It's the same idea. You play this, you use your currency that you get to unlock the different spells that you want to use as the Dungeon Maestro. So I'm going to grab the Beer Tower structure. I'm also going to grab the Real Missiles, and let's see here. Discord Curse is something I'll grab. We'll talk about what these are once we're in the game. And I'll grab the Healing and Freeze, and I do get one more. Ice Trap, no. What is this? Give one hero a strong push. It's funny because he's fat. Belly push, no. I'll do the, no. What is this? Blocking. Blocks heroes. Ooh. A little wall. I'd rather go for something offensive. We're going to get a false trap there. Okay, so those are my spells. Now, once we've selected the spells we want, we select monsters. We're basically creating a deck of cards. I'm going to grab an Orc Berserker, a Troll, and an Imp. Very strong, big, beefy creatures. I kind of prefer that. Then we also get to select specialty. These are going to be special guys that... These are basically like special monsters, really, really strong ones. The Phoenix is crazy strong, and I'm also going to grab the Stalker here. And then lastly, a boss. If the adventurers make it all the way to the final boss, this will be the boss that you fight against them with. Again, there's a whole bunch of different options. This is the one I have unlocked, so that's the one we'll select. Possession skill. When you can gain control of minions in the game, and then you can either give them a blink or an AoE heal. I love the AoE heal. And then there's also a trait, which is a passive for you. The ones I've got available at the moment are to get an extra mana slot or to regenerate faster mana, and that's what I'm going to do. So there we go. We are all set. Let's go ahead and ready this up. Those are our opponents. Now we could play with 3 other real people, but once more, we are just playing with bots here. Okay, so we're going to notice an entirely different interface. I'll quickly run right over that with you guys. And I'm just probably going to let them... I'm probably just going to let these guys go. Okay, so upper left-hand corner, same thing that you remember in adventure mode. That is the health of the adventurers plus their remaining life. You can see they've got 3 hearts. Lower left-hand corner, the time until you draw your next card, the amount of monsters in your current checkpoint area. Your mana is at the bottom. You can see there's a number associated with each card, and that tells you how much mana it cost. And then right over here, that's your evil bar. Once it fills up, you can send out a special monster. And then there's also a laugh button that just, if you feel like laughing at them. It's kind of funny. Okay, so now that we have explained that, let's go ahead and hop into the game. I'm going to place down a couple of towers. We are also going to grab a Phoenix. Phoenix is very strong. Now you can gain control of any one of these by mousing over them and clicking on them and hitting F, and then you possess them. Now if you take a look at the top right now, there's a whole new set. There's a space bar for an AoE heal. That's my specialty possession skill. And then left mouse button will be an attack. Right mouse button is also a specialty. It's sort of like a secondary ability. Now my secondary ability is to turn into this big fat chicken. Not really interested in doing that though. So I'm just, because the damage from this thing is crazy. So I'm just gonna stick with this because it's insane damage once it hits through something. Look at that, I just knocked down 2 guys and 1 guy only has 1 bar left, so we're gonna finish him off too. So yeah, they're all down, they're gonna lose 3 health, and then once they die once more, that's it. Like I said, playing against bots as Dungeon Master is pretty easy, but alright, so we're gonna use up some of our mana to put those guys down. I'm also gonna put down a false trap. And we're going to put that down right there. So they think it's a health thing, they'll run up to it. So if you were playing against real people, they'd walk up to that being like, ooh, let me regen some health. And then it turns out they don't regen health, they actually take AoE damage. And I'm going to grab the... Oh boy, I'd like to grab the Phoenix. Because he is taking some damage here. And let's go ahead and... Come on. What is he doing? Alright, I'm gonna grab this guy. Phoenix was being weird. I don't know what happened, but he wasn't attacking or something. It was very strange. But yeah, you can possess these guys, so that's a really cool thing. You know, all these enemies that we were just fighting against in Dungeon Master mode, the Dungeon Master has the ability to take control of them and actually play them. So it's really, really cool. Definitely seemed pretty powerful, but I could also see an organized team being able to surpass this. And again, we're also playing against stupid bots, so there is that. Now what's going to happen is once you use your hand of cards, every, I think, 31 seconds, look how easy that was, every 31 seconds you're going to draw a new card. Also, whenever the heroes make it to a next checkpoint, then you're going to draw a whole new hand of cards. Now, that was really easy. I'm going to do this one more time. But this time I'm going to try to make it more difficult by making it easier for the heroes. So notice the difficulty, this is actually attributed to the heroes. Difficulty determines the amount of damage that the heroes take. So if I put this on very easy, they take 90% less damage. If I were to put it on very hard, they would die really easily. So we're going to put it on very easy so they take less damage, and hopefully this will make it harder. Also gonna click load plan. This will load a save plan that you have. So it's basically gonna load these cards set up that I have predetermined. And with that, we're gonna ready up and go back in. Take another look, a little bit more Dungeonland action before we wrap up this video.
You have enough mana for spells.
Welcome, happy visitors.
All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead. Now that you guys understand everything about the UI, I don't need to explain it again. I'm gonna set up some towers here. We're gonna grab a Phoenix and let's grab an Imp, put him here. I'm gonna possess the Phoenix and try to stay with my guys to heal them up. I think we're probably gonna win this. Oh yeah, you know what? Again, they take a lot less damage, so I don't know. But oh lord. Yeah, they're much tougher now, which is good. I'm actually happy about this because the last time was a cakewalk and a bit silly. I still do a lot of damage. Wow, look at all that damage that they took though. Holy heck. The tank is really absorbing over there, but I might be able to get one of these guys down right here. Oh no, not quite. So we've got a spawner plus a tower that's also lobbing damage at those guys. And wow, they actually healed up. Well, this is good. This is good because it's actually a challenge now that these guys can take a lot more damage. Maybe this is the way to do it if you want to play against bots. I'm gonna drop him for a second though, so I can place down a little bit more. Get some more bad guys in here to help out. Okay, wonderful. All right, this guy's down. He can't shield when he's down, so we're gonna do some damage there. And fantastic. So certainly this is the part of this game that I think is the most interesting and the most fun because of the fact that the action RPG portion, that the standard stuff is very simplistic, and while that customization is there through acquiring weapons and new skills, and there's different types too, so that's another really cool thing. Again, like the fire mage, the electric mage, the ice mage, but the general combat is pretty basic. So this is the most enjoyable thing, and it's definitely the case that this is going to be a multiplayer focused game. They say it's a multiplayer focused game. Playing this with friends is where you're going to have the most fun. I'm not passing judgment, but I do just want to give you my initial thoughts on this game. It is still closed beta. Things can still change. I'm gonna say, if you're playing by yourself though, it's probably not gonna be as much fun, but if you've got friends to play with, yeah, this is definitely gonna be a great title, and a hilarious one as well. I mean, just imagine playing against 3 of your friends and wrecking them as the Dungeon Master. How is that not enjoyable? You know what I mean? Like, how is that not a heck of a lot of fun? So I'm just using my different skills. I've got an AoE heal. I can drop a missile on their head. I can summon some trolls. And we're gonna grab the Phoenix again because he is super overpowered. And with that, I think we're gonna wrap up the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this basics look at Dungeonland, the multiplayer action RPG where 3 people play as heroes and 1 person plays as the nefarious Dungeon Master. The most fun, easily, in this game. If you like the content, please subscribe. Oh yeah, let me tell you about when this stuff is going to be available for you. So the full game comes to the PC on January the 29th, with just a few days from now. It's going to be available for $9.99 via Steam, and you can play some Dungeonland action at that point. Once again, this is developed by Critical Studios, published by Paradox Interactive. Thank you for watching this basics look at the game. If you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep owning. Let's get some stalkers over here. So, here we go.
You're
nice.
out of mana, my lord.
It's another summon tower right on the front lines. Die, heroes. Violent games are terrible. Alright, he's dead. We got him. Oh, come on, we got him. Piece of cake. Oh, I lost my Phoenix. No.
You must wait for your mana to recharge.
Grab this
Evil meter
thing.
almost there, boss.
We're gonna get him. I refuse to leave until we get them. Get over here. Yes, yes, win!